at the other end of the pitch, we have well, please don't ask me to pronounce this one, but Supriaha and Lednev, who had very strong campaigns last season. They were on loan at Dnipro and Zorya, and they've come back and they've been playing, but it appears from sort of the outside looking in that they may be somewhat stalling a little bit. Is that is that the sense that you're getting, or is it just a case of whenever loan players return, they perhaps just need a little bit of time to bed back in?
No, I wouldn't say that they need time to bed in. It's just weird. It's sort of a typical Dynamo Kyiv situation. They end up loaning out players to different teams. They play really well there. Such as Supriaha, I think he got 15, 16 goals last season for Dnipro 1. Okay, they were in the lower half of the table and were playing against relatively easy sides. But, Supriaha was in emphatic form. Bogdan Lednev was one of Zorya's best players. He was scoring free kicks for fun. He was like, the Ukrainian David Beckham, whatever. But yeah, and then they came back to Dynamo, and it looks like Lucescu doesn't really favour them too much, on the basis that Supriaha started, I think, the first few matches for Lucescu as a centre forward. Now he played in the Champions League sort of qualifiers, and then essentially he's just stopped scoring goals. It was really weird. It looks like he's completely drained his confidence. He was like missing sitters, and he's not scored since September. And he has had a fair few opportunities since. So that was really worrying, especially since, as throughout the summer last year, Bologna were persistently after Supriaha. They were offering him They were offering Dynamo 10 million euros for him, but as is the case with Dynamo Kyiv owner, and the reason behind why a lot of players don't end up moving or anything like that for delayed periods of time. The owner wanted 15 million or up to 20. And I mean, for a player like Supriaha, who's completely unproven really at a top level, that's sort of a bit of a joke, if you know what I mean. And the sad irony of it is that he's dropped off so much this season. When if he was maybe playing in Serie A, even if he wasn't playing regularly, that would have probably been more beneficial to him. But yeah, Lednev the same. He's a bit old, obviously, but he's just not been given consistent opportunities. He always comes on as a sub, maybe last 5 minutes of games or something like that. And, that's not really much time to show much, especially when you're either already winning or you've got a mountain to climb. So it's difficult to say. And I mean, it's a typical case of Dynamo Kyiv, I guess, and even Shakhtar with the Ukrainian talent. They like to combine, hoard a load of players together. Don't really let them free unless they are loaned out to, for example, Shakhtar's feeder club in the UPL is Mariupol. They send a load of their under 23 players there, and then Dynamo loan out to either Zorya a bit. They loan out to Desna and some other sides. But I mean, that's not really good enough if you want to be a top player. You need to be going elsewhere, either signing somewhere else and I think that option is sometimes just not allowed, either through agents or through the club structure, which is a shame.
Yeah, I think reading around the subject, I feel like I kind of got that impression. That the top clubs obviously want to hoard that talent because they never know when they're going to stumble across one who's going to be worth, as you say, 10 million pounds, 10 million euros, because that's going to fund that club for a long time. It's going to perhaps bail out a season where you don't get as far in European competition as you might be expected. So yeah, it's a bit of an issue, and it's a sad one. But I think, especially with Supriaha, there's time on his side.
Yeah,
and I think. I mean, I say I think I'm not. I don't have any insider knowledge here, but I'd hope that that clubs, Bologna's, for example, Bologna, who do very, very good scouting. They're very diverse. they clearly know what they're looking for, and he is definitely a player. I hope that clubs like that are still sort of in the market for a player like that, because, as you say, his market value will have dropped. So there's a
Mhm.
potential to pick up a player perhaps for cheaper, and make the Dynamo hierarchy look a bit foolish that they didn't take that 10 million when they could have.
Absolutely.